Terez Owens from the esteemed TerezOwens.com. Don't know what happened with the phone there, but we got you on. It's been a little while. We've been under the renovations over here. The asbestos is gone, Terez, so everybody's okay here. Don't panic, guys. There's no more asbestos. How are you doing out there?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. It's a little rainy out here today, but, you know, I can't complain. It's like 2 bad weather days all year, so 70 and sunny is our norm, so I'm not saying a word.
Live from Hollywood. Now let's talk about this Randy Moss trade. I heard about it last night that Moss was supposed to be getting traded back to the Vikings. Is it official? And talk about Brett Favre's role in it as well.
It is official, and from what I've heard, basically it was Brett was like reaching out because they were trying to go after the Chargers guy for Vincent Jackson. They were trying to go after him. It didn't work out. The owner of the Chargers wouldn't budge, and Brett was complaining. And in Minnesota, Brett gets what he wants. Seems like so. They reached out to the Patriots, and I know he had a little halftime altercation. Randy Moss did with his the offensive line coach. So something happened there, and they weren't happy with his contract. So I know what was holding it up was they were working on a contract extension for if he were to go to Minnesota. So I don't know what happened, but I know the deal has went through.
Do you think it's a good move by the Patriots? They seem to cut a lot of guys who give them a little bit of problems. You think it's a good move to get Moss out of there while they're still doing okay?
You know what? I don't question anything Bill Belichick does. I mean, you saw Darius Thomas had their problem with him last year. He was gone. Richard Seymour, who he's a beast. They let him go. They traded him to the Raiders in the middle of the season. So I just stopped questioning anything that Bill Belichick does because it seems like that guy just makes right moves.
Terez Owens on the line here on the Sportswire, 88.1 FM, WCWP. He is from the esteemed TerezOwens.com. Terez, you put a story up today, which is from page 6 in the Post. It's talking about Mark Sanchez hanging out with his buddies, Dustin Keller, Braylon Edwards, great receivers for him, doing a lot of work for him this year. Hanging out with those guys at a restaurant, and apparently a woman comes up to him and pretty much just invades his personal space. Tell us the story of what happened to Sanchez.
So basically, like you said, he was sitting at a restaurant with Dustin Keller and Braylon Edwards, and the woman approached the table, and I guess they were being really nice at first, and then it just kind of took a little bit of an edge, and she started really kind of going hard at Mark Sanchez, kind of throwing herself at him, and they asked her to leave, and she didn't leave, so it kind of made a scene, and then they called security and kind of got her out of there. But I guess that's what Sanchez is going to live with. It's either that or, the New York press the other way, and I think he'd better live with the floozy coming over the table and trying to get some rather than, throwing 3 picks and having to live with that. I
mean, this guy pulls in more women than I could ever imagine. He had Jamie Lynn Sigler. He's dating models all the time. He's hooking up with girls at parties. I bet. Like I could just gather that he does that on a regular basis. Do you think that could be a problem for Sanchez? Or do you think that he should be out there socializing with the fairer sex?
You know what? It depends. I think whatever's working for you at the time, let it go. Go back to Tiger. I hate to say it, but man, when he was smashing everything in sight, he was winning majors. And whatever he's doing right now is working because, he started out bad in the first game, but, dude, Sanchez looks great these last couple games. It looks like he's finally getting it.
Terez Owens from TerezOwens.com here on WCWP. ESPN, the magazine, is coming out with I think it's their second body issue, which has naked celebrities, naked sports stars in the magazine. I remember last year Serena Williams and Dwight Howard were a couple of them. This year you got Diana Taurasi on the cover. We posted up on our site. I know Terez has it on his site. But the problem I have is my boy Amar'e Stoudemire, newest Nick. He's in that magazine, jumping into a pool absolutely naked. Tell us about the picture that Amar'e Stoudemire is in, Terez.
Oh, man. He's got his sausage hemmed up between his legs, I guess. If that's how you're even going to put it, I don't know. I mean, he's covering something up, and just a bad move, I would say. I don't know who talked him into that. I know he's pretty young, and he hasn't really experienced a market like New York. Think about it. He's come from Phoenix, which is a lot different than New York. So I don't know what he's doing, man. It really just wasn't a good look. I mean, my thinking. You're a Knicks fan. Kind of makes you question him a little bit.
Yeah, what I'm questioning the most is the amount of fingers and hand space he used to cover himself up. It's more like his index finger and his middle finger only. I don't know what his deal is in his groinal area, but all I know is that this guy is a force, and he's going to be a great Knick no matter how much hand space he needs.
You know what? I'm never taking a picture with my sausage squeezed between my legs the other way. Just not do it as a man.
I don't blame you. I'm with you. Terez Owens joining us here on the Sportswire. He's from TerezOwens.com, the king of all sports media. Matt Kemp and Rihanna, a couple where Matt Kemp is a not-so-great baseball player and Rihanna is pretty overexposed singer. What I want to know about them is where their relationship is at, especially after the reports that came out that Rihanna was making out with Drake here in New York. I'm a big Drake fan, so I'm happy for Drizzy. But, where does Matt Kemp stand in all this?
You know what? It just seems like to me from watching it, and I actually personally was out 2 Wednesdays ago and saw Matt Kemp out at Dre's here in L.A. By himself, not by himself, with just the guys, not with her, and he was hollering at girls. So from that, I just took it down. Like, if just watching his play, everything this season, it seems like she was just playing with him. And then we constantly put stories out, and people are saying, oh, no, they're fine, they're getting married, they're this, they're that. Well, she just contradicted it by saying basically they are not getting married. They have a relationship where they're both on, other ends of the coast, if even in the same country sometimes, that it's really hard. So at the end of the day, I kind of feel like she's just playing him. I think maybe they should both go on, like, Dancing with the Stars, because I think they're both washed up, to tell you the truth.
By the way, is Rihanna to you like the most overused singer right now?
I think the best move that ever happened to her was Chris Brown punched her in the face a couple times, man. She owes Chris Brown a thank you, actually.
Yeah, as bad as that sounds, I don't know if I can totally disagree with that. She did get a lot of sympathy from that incident. Also, Chris Brown is back on his thing. He's in a movie. I forget which, was it Takers he was in? He was in Takers, and then he's got that song Deuces that was really popular. So Chris Brown is back too, Terez.
Yeah, man. I mean, Chris Brown's got talent. You know what I mean? That you can't deny that. He did make a really stupid move. You can never put your hands on a female. But you know what? You can't deny the kid is talented. And, I mean, personally, we'll figure out where this whole thing goes, but I think we'll see Chris Brown right on top, and we'll see Rihanna on Road Rules.
All right, last question here for Terez Owens, live on the Sportswire. The MLB playoffs started today. Now, we already had the Rays beat the Rangers, and right now the Phillies are still beating the Reds. But the series that I want to get your opinion on, the Yankees and the Twins. I'm a huge Yankee fan, Terez. Make me happy. What do you see happening in this series?
I see the Yankees winning, but I see the Yankees always tend to lose this first game. You ever notice that? You're a Yankees fan. They always tend to lose that first game or whatever in the playoffs. I think they're going to lose the first one in Minnesota and come back and win it 3-1.
All right.
I say that to go against the big dude on the mound tonight, but I don't know, man. I think they might lose one, but I'm taking the Yankees to win the World Series. I really can't see anybody beating them.
Thank you, Terez. There he is, Terez Owens from TerezOwens.com. Go visit the site. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll get you on next Wednesday.
Yeah, one more thing. You got time for one more second?
I always have time for you, Terez.
All right, man. So we received an email from the guest that Deadspin actually had kind of was waiting to break the news, but they posted it early and then took it back down. Either way, just so you know, Brett Favre dong pictures tomorrow hitting the web. I'm not a fan. I'm just letting you know it's out there.
Breaking news here on the Sportswire. Brett Favre's sexts to Jen Sturger are going to come out tomorrow. Terez, are you going to have those up on your site as well after Deadspin puts them up?
You know what? We might throw them, like, censor them. I'm not a fan of putting guys' units on the site, so maybe we can put a click-through so someone else can go, get it. But maybe we'll use Amar'e's hand to cover it up.
All right, there he is, Terez Owens. Go visit the site. He's got an iPhone app, too, so go to the iTunes store and check that out. Terez, thank you again.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me.